Humans take photos for a lot of reasons and purposes. One would take snapshots of various activities he or she is doing, or document the events that he or she attends to through photos. Some would resort to photography for remembrances, triggering memories. Photography has its natural nostalgic element, allowing the perceivers to reminisce certain events, associate visual imageries to it, and even evoke recollections and histories. Human brains function like photography, allowing the storage of past events and reminisce memories. Synonymously, the brain allows us to stimulate nostalgic experiences through visuals.
But today, we will not be talking about photography nor the brain. Our discussion will zero into nostalgia, specifically colonial nostalgia. I can see the bewilderment on your faces. Colonial nostalgia might be a new term for some, but for those who have backgrounds in anthropology, colonial, race and diaspora studies, this might just be one of those familiar terms you surely know. Oh wait! I know some of you are already starting to think what this term means, what it is all about.
You are right. We are dealing with colonization or colonialism, the process of dominating or controlling a territory by a group of individuals, or taking over a nation's sovereignty by another state, often through force. Nostalgia, on the other hand, just like these photos that I have, evokes memories in the past. Historically speaking, nostalgia came from the Greek words nostos, which means return home, and algos, which means pain. And it was used to describe the disorder of Swiss soldiers as a growing homesickness that they experienced while serving and stationed out of the country. Born defines nostalgia as the longing for a home that no longer exists or has never existed at all, resulting to emotional loss and displacement, but at the same time, venerating one's fantasies. Bissell, on the other hand, describes nostalgia as social memories produced through our collective experiences, where the present time is disregarded, but the past is glorified instead. Hence, nostalgia is a social imagery brought by socio-economic factors such as crisis and instability.
In this sense, colonial and nostalgia, when combined, is the glamorization of the imperial times and the romanticization of the colonial temporalities.
Loyson described colonial nostalgia as the embellishment of lived experiences. In simple words, it is when the colonized experience sentimental yearning of the colonizer's culture, lifestyle, and material products. Here, the occupied territories, particularly the people, reminisce the benefits and the experiences brought by colonization. But one might be confused with colonial nostalgia and imperial nostalgia. Are they the same or have difference? Lorson offered a distinction between imperial and colonial nostalgia, where the former deals with the loss of the empire, while the latter refers to the loss of socio-cultural standing. Imperial nostalgia is connected to power relations, specifically the declination of international interference in terms of economy and politics. Colonial nostalgia centers on colonial lifestyle as to how grandeur the way of life was in the colonies while under the power of another nation-state. To facilitate better understanding, we will be discussing some cases dealing with this concept. Bissell in his work unpacked the expressions of colonial nostalgia in Zanzibar, Tanzania. The collapse of the revolutionary government and the economic decline due to Tanzania's independence from the British ruling fueled Tanzanians' colonial nostalgia, deeming the abrupt changes and reconstruction of their society, economy, and politics as the main reasons. Bissell's fieldwork presented the Zanzibaris in a situation where they are lambasting the present state of their city while celebrating and glorifying their colonial past. For Lorson, colonial nostalgia exists too, through narrative, visual, and textual materialities, such in the case of the North African settlers in France, where proliferation of fiction and non-fiction resources like books, films, monuments, websites, and other myriad of media were created in commemoration of the Algerians' French colonial history. Additionally, Lorson pointed out colonial nostalgia in Kenya through biographical and fictional literature detailing the struggles of the Kenyan people who needed to spearhead the operations of agriculture and the economy right after the liberation from the French colonizers. Lastly, the work of Wortne and Steves in 2019, which centered on the depiction of colonial nostalgia through the TV show Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown. In the show, the Congolese were depicted experiencing colonial nostalgia as they are confronted by the harsh realities of their society, an independent nation but in deep economic and political instability, allowing them to reminisce the infrastructure and materialities brought by the Belgian imperialism to Congo.
Indeed, colonial nostalgia consists of social imageries that are elicited when the colonized people are in an unpleasant socio-political milieu, making them longing for the colonial past and what it offered to them versus the current situations that they are in. I hope you enjoyed our episode for today. Thank you for joining us.
For more knowledge and tutorial videos, kindly visit our website affect-and-colonialism.net and also our social media accounts, YouTube and Facebook, Affect and Colonialism Weblog, and Instagram, aac.weblognet. Our videos and podcasts are also available through Vimeo, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Once again, this is Mark Agon Pacoma, and this is Affect and Colonialism Weblog. Auf Wiedersehen!